Besides, it was only 5:30. Papa did not have to be at work until 7, and it only took a few minutes to get there. I'll be right back, Mama said, looking at Roberto and me. Be sure to take care of Trampita. I followed my parents to the car, and as Mama was about to get in, I asked, Can I go see Torito when you get back? Mama closed the door without answering and sped off. Roberto and I went back to the tent. We did not say a word to each other, but each of us knew what the other was thinking. We knelt side by side on the mattress in front of the Virgin de Guadalupe and prayed silently. I was worried and irritated by the time Mama returned. It was around 11. Where were you? I asked angrily. I want to go see Torito. Only if God wills it, she said sadly, putting her arms around Roberto and me. What do you mean? I asked. Torito's very sick, she replied. He has a rare disease that might be catching. That's why you can't see him. But you went to see him this morning, didn't you? I responded, raising my voice. That's why you took so long, right? Si, mijo, she answered. But they won't let children in to see him. You can see him when he comes home. When is that? Roberto and I asked at the same time. Soon, probably, she answered hesitantly. I had a feeling Mama was not telling us all she knew. After preparing supper, Mama went to pick up Papa from work. When they got home, Papa looked very upset and anxious. I waited for them to talk about Torito, but they did not say a word about him. And as soon as dinner was over, they left for the hospital. After Roberto and I cleaned the dishes and went outside behind our tent, and prayed on our knees again. But only for a little while. I hurried inside when I heard Donna Maria chanting next door. When Papa and Mama returned from the hospital, Mama's arms were empty. Roberto and I looked at each other in disappointment. Torito's a little bit better, but we can't bring him home until tomorrow, she said, teary-eyed, with a faint smile. Then, taking a deep breath and looking at Roberto, Trompita, and me, she continued, We have to pray to the Santo Niño de Atocha, she said, because, yes, Papa interrupted, taking out his wallet and pulling out a tattered holy card. Your mama and I have made a promise to El Santo Niño. Then, holding the card in the palm of his right hand and looking at it, he continued, We'll pray to him every day for a whole year if Torito gets well. Papa then took a pin from a small tin box where Mama kept her sewing things and pinned the card to the canvas wall above the mattress next to the picture of the Virgin of Guadalupe. On the holy card was the picture of the little Jesus of Atocha, sitting on a high wooden chair. He wore sandals, a blue cloak, a short brown cape, and a brimmed hat to match. In his right hand, he carried a basket, and in his left hand, a wooden staff. We all knelt in front of the Santo Niño to pray. Mama always prayed to him whenever one of us got sick because she said the Holy Child Jesus took care of poor and sick people, especially children. The late hour and the repetition of prayers made me sleepy. That night, I dreamed about Santo Niño de Atocha. I was behind our tent praying on my knees in front of the holy baby Jesus, in front of the baby Jesus holy card. Suddenly, Santo Niño came alive. He stood up from his chair and floated in the air, carrying the basket. He glided to where I was and placed the basket to my feet and pointed to it. Out of the basket emerged hundreds of tiny white butterflies. They formed themselves into a pair of wings, lifting me up and carrying me away over Tent City and setting me down next to Torito, who lay in the middle of a lush green alfalfa field. In the dream, I woke and I looked at the prayer card. Torito was in it, sitting in the high chair, dressed as El Santo Niño de Atocha. Next morning, when I told Mama about my dream, she decided to make Torito an outfit like the one Santo Niño de Atocha was wearing in the picture prayer card. Instead of taking a nap, after she had made the lunches, she started sewing a cloak using the fabric from one of her blue dresses. She finished it that evening, just in time to get Torito from the hospital. Later that night, when Mama and Papa returned with Torito from the hospital, he was wearing the blue cloak Mama had made him. But he did not look like Santo Niño in the holy card. Torito was pale and skinny. He moaned when I tickled him. Mama, is Torito still sick? I asked. Yes, mijo, she responded. That's why we must keep on praying. But didn't the doctor take care of him? Mama turned her back to me and did not respond. I looked at Papa, who was pacing up and down, wringing his hands. After a long moment of silence, he said, Remember, we have to keep our promise and pray to Santo Niño every day, for a whole year. That night and every night for an entire year, we all prayed to El Santo Niño de Atocha as we followed the crops from place to place. And during that time, Mama dressed Torito in the blue cloak and only took it off when it needed to be washed. On August 17th, the day we completed the promise to El Santo Niño, we all gathered around Torito, who sat on Mama's lap. His chubby, rosy cheeks made him look like a cherub. I've something to tell you, Mama said, teary-eyed, as she took off his cloak. When we took Torito home from the hospital, the doctor told us my son would die because we waited too long to take him there. He said it would take a miracle for him to live. I didn't want to believe him, she continued, gaining strength as she talked. But he was right. It took a miracle.